everyone. May peace be on you all, and welcome to another episode of I'm Muslim and That's Okay. And for the first time in a solo episode, y'all can see me. Yes, if you're not just hearing me on your favorite platform, you can also see this video of me on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And I was like, I've been wanting to do this for a while now. And I was like, but if I did a video, it'd be very boring if it was just my face. Okay. I mean, there's nothing interesting here. So I was like, how am I going to do this? And one day, every other morning when I am like in the kitchen trying to make myself a cup of tea. I'm a tea drinker or a chai drinker, if you want to be more specific. And I am, like, for those who have not seen me in person, I'm very vertically challenged. Okay. I'm 5 foot, barely 1.5. I'm very sore about the fact that I didn't get half more inch, but yeah. And majority of the cabinets here are built for, I don't know, it never made sense to me. What is the average height range that people are making these cabinets for? Because it's certainly, I mean, I don't know, does it conform to the average woman size here? Because I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But the point is, I have to do the daily counter climb. Okay, that's what I do. I don't have time to be looking around for step stools because half the time my children have taken it to some random place anyway. So the counter climb it is. So I did the counter climb, and I am like going through the various mugs that are in my cabinet. And I was there, and I took stock of all the mugs that are in my cabinet. And I was like, oh my God, this is very interesting. And before y'all are like, she's finally lost it, which, I mean, I would not blame you, but still, the thing is, what I saw over there was very representative of my mind. Stay with me. I know it sounds crazy, but stay with me on this one. So here's the thing. We have like a decent size, like cabinet, shelf, whatever you want to call it. And it had 2 very separate kinds of mugs. So I'm going to start with a very basic one. And if you guys are watching me on YouTube, you guys can see this. For those who are listening to me, I have the very basic white mug over here. You can see it's got very generic design. It's got white, gray, and red on it. And, pretty standard, like, I guess, I mean, I'm not even sure what's it made out of, but it's like a, standard tea mug. You'd find it in any store, and just, you can pick it up, buy it, use it for your tea, coffee, or whatever. And one side had those mugs. Like, I have these mugs, like 6 others like it, and, the way I saw it, these mugs are like those ideas in my head that are created from, I guess, societal norms and expectations. Like, if I presented ideas in this mug, this white mug with like red and gray design, very, generic, very non-threatening design, very neutral, if you had to say it. If I presented ideas in this mug, most people would be very accepting of those ideas. And because, the mug looks pretty conventional, whatever idea that comes from it, would most likely be a conventional idea, the very non-threatening mug. So this mug sort of represents those ideas that, are created from our childhood. And I'm not saying necessarily that these ideas are bad, but it's like those norms that we grow up with, that, sort of created through the culture and traditions that exist around us. So that's what the white mug is. And then, I was scanning that side of the I guess, cabinet, and there was this other mug, and very much like the white mug, this is a completely gray mug. It's almost same shape, same size as my white mug. And this is like the mug it's your go-to mug. If for any reason the white mugs are not there, they're in the dishwasher, you can't use them at this point, you can definitely use the gray mug, because the gray mug is the universally acceptable mug. Okay, doesn't matter which cultural background you're from or which part of the world you're from. This, if you presented tea in this mug, everybody would look at it and they'd be like, oh yeah, I'll take tea from that mug. And these are those ideas, those generic, I guess, those universal ideas that exist like within all of us. And even if you travel to another part of the world, if I had to like define it, it would be things like possibly that telling the truth is good, or stealing is bad. Universal ideas. This mug, this gray mug, that's what it represents, those ideas that you present tea in this mug to anybody and they would take it. They would not be offended by it. They would be like, oh yeah, I like this mug, I'll take tea from this mug. Now these are like one of my favorite mugs, and they're unusual, but I would still put them in sort of like the conventional side of the mugs. Just one second, let me bring them out. And I love these are my stacky mugs. Okay, for those who can't see them, they are like they're in a metal, like a stand, and these mugs stack one on top of the other. A lot of times they're sold as, you know, they have the same design, but these ones don't have the same designs. They have like 4 different designs. They're traditional designs, or floral traditional designs, cultural designs, and they're very pretty, but not all of them have the same pattern on it. And on first glance, you would be like, oh, but these mugs represent ideas that are not conventional. Not necessarily. Okay, yeah, they all have a different design on them. Like this one has blue and white flowers on them. This one is a very ethnic design. It's very pretty, has so many different colors on it, circular patterns, and blue, red, yellow, orange, all different. And all 4 of them have different patterns on them. But here's the thing. All 4 of them, if I presented tea in them all together, the one thing that's similar about them is that they are in a very, I guess, easy to consume size. Like if I gave tea in them, it's about the right amount of tea that anybody would want to take in. Yeah, when it comes to the designs, some might not prefer the design, the designed cup of tea that they're getting the tea in, but they'd be like, okay, but this is, you know, it's the right amount of tea and I'll take it. So the way I would categorize these set of tea mugs is that they are almost conventional. They have their usefulness in the fact that they present creative or unusual ideas in a very easy to consume form of way. And that's the thing, a lot of people cannot like take in new ideas immediately, and that's sort of what happens as you age. You become fixed in a lot of things, good or bad. You can take it either way, but you sort of become very set in your ways, and taking in new ideas can be a little challenging. But when presented in this form, even though they may not all have the same design, but they are in a very easy to consume, you know, the tea that comes in this, they'll be like, yeah, you know, I'm not used to the design, it's not conventional, but I'll take it in the size that it comes from this. So those are my stackies and I love them, but again, I would put them in the category of conventional thoughts. I've run out of space. Oh, just give me one second. So Those were my stackies. So those were on like 1/2 of my like entire shelf of mugs. And then I went to the other half. And that's where I was like, this is the side of the brain or the side of the shelf that I mostly use, because that's where all my mugs are. And and nobody else will touch those mugs, because I'll show you why. So let me bring out my unconventional mugs. Yes, my gigantors. That's how I call it. And my husband is like, you could bathe in the amount of tea that goes in here. I was like, but I still want him in that. Like, that's the thing. I don't take tea in the conventional size mugs. I need more. And that's how I function. And you can even see this one. Like this is like one of the biggest ones I have. This is huge. The amount of tea that goes in this one. It's a really cute white mug with a black handle, and it says this was actually a present to me, and it says "Humble Warrior" on it. It's such a sweet mug. And these mugs are big. The one I'm holding up is like a blue with white, indigo blue with white flowers on it, and most of my mugs have a minimum 16-ounce like capacity minimum. I'm pretty sure these are a lot more, maybe 24-ounce even. And all of them, none of them match. That's the thing. None of the mugs on my side of the shelf match. They are all I've either picked them up because of the size, but it's not just the size. The pattern and the color that has to strike me for some reason. I don't know what it is. And like this one, the one I'm holding up, I was drawn to it, this blue and white flower mug. And I was like, I need to have this mug. It's the right size. It holds the right amount of tea that I want to consume. And I bought it. And like, it represents, the thoughts and ideas that I would like consume my tea from, like the size that I would take from, and the exterior, because the exterior is so unusual from the conventional mugs that it matches some aspect of my personality, like this one possibly maybe for the color blue. I like indigo blue, and like this one I have. And this was also a present because people know about my obsession with cats. So it says, come to the introvert side, we have cats. That's the thing. Majority of my mugs are cat themed as well, because I love cats. That's the thing. They're large and they're cat themed. And the thing is, these mugs represent, the thoughts and ideas, the vessels for the thoughts and ideas that I would take in the tea from. And the tea can be any number of things. If you had to broadly categorize it, tea is information, if you saw it in terms of mugs. And that's the thing. If I had to choose for myself, if I'm at home, I would never pick up at the gray mug or the white mug. It would always be like, unless all of my mugs are in the dishwasher, I would never take my tea in the smaller ones, because I need that huge influx of information about everything. It's so representative of how I am. I love large amounts of information. And but here's the thing. If I presented tea in any of these big gigantor mugs to anybody else, they'd be like, oh my God, this is too much tea. And they would not be incorrect, because it'd be too much tea for them. And I would have to respect that. I would need to take out either the gray mug or the white mug. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Here's the thing. As people, we need to understand and sort of accept that just because we like our tea a certain way, it doesn't mean that other people like it the same way. So it's always a good idea to ask, are you okay with, and that's the thing. safe bet. If it's a person that you do not know, give it to them in the gray mug. Okay, give them their tea in the gray mug. Okay, give them their information in the gray mug until you know the person a little better. And even then, sometimes it's people's preference that I like that you have all of these mugs, but I prefer my information in the white mug. It just, or maybe even in the stackies. Like they might just like it like in a creative fashion, but in a way that they can consume it in a more, I guess, in a less quantity, if I had to put it that way. So, I mean, we do have to respect that for other people. And as for like about the people that we surround ourselves with, they don't necessarily have to drink tea from the same size mug that you do, but it should be the kind of people that they respect that you like your tea in big mugs. Like, I'm just like talking about myself, and again, mugs are just a metaphor. Okay, it could be almost anything, but the fact is that we need to respect that other people have different ways of taking in ideas, and we should surround ourselves with people who respect how we take in ideas, because that is what makes meaningful relationships. If you have people who respect that you take in information differently, then those are your meaningful relationships. And as for how we present our tea to other people, you do sometimes have to choose your mugs, but here's the other thing. Give me just a second. Let me put away my stacky. Here's the other thing. Even if you choose the gray universal mug, the idea that is universally accepted, it's not just about the tea that's inside here. It's about how you present the tea. You could gracefully present the tea to the other person, in a very gentle person sort of way. You could like present it to them proper in a tray and hand it to them and ask them, nicely, what else would they like in their tea? Do they like milk and sugar in the proper mannerisms? You could do that, or you could take the same gray tea with the universal truth information, whatever you want, and you could fling it at their face. Fact is, it's both tea, both presented from the gray mug, but it's a matter of how it's given to the other person, because tea can cause damage. We know that. So if there was one takeaway from all of this, it's not about the size, shape, and color of the tea. We all have different kinds. And we all have different divisions of the kinds we have. I think all of us have the unique mugs inside of us. It's just a matter of how many and how much. And you show those unique mugs, or you present those unique mugs to those that you love. And the rest, you might have conventionals or stackies or whichever way you are. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the integral part is how we are presenting our tea. If that is what we have to be careful about, that we present our tea in the best way and form. So, and for us, we're from I'm from Pakistan. Tea is very ceremonious. It is what wins hearts for us, and I would look at it that way as well. The tea that comes from mugs is what wins hearts. It's all a matter of how we are presenting our tea. So until next time, y'all take care of yourselves. Keep your mugs, I guess, all neatly stacked up in your shelf, and You serve your tea to your loved ones in the best possible way. So take care of yourself, and may peace be on you all.